Hi, my name's Nick Davis, leading UK psychotherapist, hypnotherapist, sports performance mind coach and body language expert. And today I'm very grateful to be joined by Dr. Sharryn Gardner, who's an A&E paediatric nurse, I believe. So tell me a little bit about the work you do in your NHS work, and you also work privately, I believe.
Yeah. So my day job is I'm a A&E consultant. So I see the broken bones, all the kind of illnesses and bits and pieces. And long ago, more than a decade ago, I started doing some therapy because we realized we had to. We were starting to see more and more psychological stuff. We didn't see the pandemic coming, and that was more and more and more of it. So I was originally using solution-focused therapy. And then, so I did have some background, but not masses. And then I did a hypnotherapy course, partly because it was in the middle of the pandemic. This is a solution-focused hypnotherapy course. I broke my wrist. I had time, nothing to do. There was nothing open. So I did this course. And while I was on that course, one of the people that was one of the tutors on it said, you know what, there's this course, I think you'd really like it. And just talked about the blast course. And I was like, have we look? And I was like, you know what, I think I might really like this. So I went off and did the course. Obviously, there's the pre-course work and the exam and stuff first. And then when I actually came to the course, I didn't really know what to expect. But actually, I was blown away. So, and it was obvious that you could almost use it for anything. And although I kind of thought I'll use it for this, and this, it maybe hasn't worked out quite like that, but I've used it for lots and lots of different things.
Can you just tell us some memorable stories about how it's helped either you or your clients, or a combination?
One of the, I mean, obviously you can't share much about it because the
disguise everything, obviously.
Vaguely, I saw a child, a teenager who'd had some problems with friends. And that I'd actually kind of processed the thing for themselves already a bit. So they only started off at a 4. But when they come into the room for the whole thing, we'd done a bit of other stuff before we started the blast. And I said, well, I know it's only a 4, but her mood wasn't great. Her body language wasn't great. And I was kind of like, should we just try anyway? She said, yeah, let's try anyway. So we did try, and actually only 1 or 2 sets of passes. And she just started giggling, couldn't stop giggling. And I'm like, okay. And one of the parents had gone out the room, and it was all done and done very, very quickly, probably 5-10 minutes at the most. One of the parents came back in the room very shortly after that and just saw her body language and giggling because she couldn't stop giggling, and they burst into tears.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So it was quite impressive.
Amazing. And you've written a book as well, I believe. Are we allowed to talk about that? Or
yeah. So we're just waiting on final kind of proofreading by the people that pick up the typos. But because it's my imposter syndrome that you'd cured when I did the course.
Are you able to share that at all?
Yeah.
And a little bit about how the book came together and stuff like that.
So I'd always just expected that. I mean, I never even thought about getting imposter syndrome. It was just something we all had. We just got on with it. And you kind of don't know that all the people around you have it. So since I discovered, after talking about it a bit more, that actually everybody around me pretty much has it, I just thought it was just me. So, and it has not so much held me back, but it's just wasted a lot of energy over the years. There's things I might have done that I might have tried to do that I didn't maybe think I was up to. And the things that I'd blamed for that over the years weren't actually the things that were in the end to blame. As it turned out when we did it. I thought it was just, I wasn't from a medical family, bits and pieces like that. And it wasn't anything like that. When we actually did it, it turned out that the most traumatic thing I'd had, and remember the dogs were jumping all over me when we did this. Was it? And then it had come out that we'd had registrar interviews, and there was a whole group of us that had gone round these registrar interviews, and I was one of the last to get a job. I'm starting to get teary again now. It's ridiculous. And it was kind of like, oh, of course you would have found that stressful. And in all this work, nobody was really appreciating it. You didn't know if you ever would get a job. Of course. But I'd never twigged that was one of the things that had held me back. So and getting a consultant job was dead easy. If I had 2 arms and 2 legs, I'd have got it. So it just didn't make any sense. So, but actually, and since then, everything's changed. So all the things that I was worried I wasn't particularly good at, everybody else knew that anyway. They'd already made their answers for that. And well, so that those feelings of you just got stuff going on in your head all the time. Or whenever I'm walking the dogs around the field, I always had stuff, and now I don't have any of that. It's just gone.
And are you able to say how long the treatment is that you put in your book? How long it worked with you?
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
I only know because I recorded it, because I thought I couldn't remember it. So
yeah.
So it's 6 minutes.
Yeah. In fact, the sadness that's just come up then when you remember it again.
Oh, it was twitchy there though, but I've moved on.
Yeah. No, but that's another layer that we can treat in a really short space of time anyway. But yeah, so how do people find you if they want to work with you? Because I know you work privately as well as your NHS stuff.
DrSharryn.com, but that's silly spelling of Sharryn. So because it's not an ordinary spelling of Sharryn, so it's DrSharryn. So just
Brilliant. I'll pop a link to that anyway. So Dr. Sharryn. So it's and what's the website?
www.drsharryn.com.
Sharryn Gardner. Brilliant. DrSharryn.com. Perfect. Brilliant. Sharryn, thank you very much for your comments. And thank you for those kind words. And I'll speak to you soon.
Okay.